a league, a national league would be suffering for sponsorship, to achieve sponsorship, to bring that content to its people, not just the rest of Africa, but just to its people alone. You know, you know, and like you said, you know, understanding the value and understanding the concept of media is what, again, we come full circle to this concept of understanding what things are and what they're supposed to be, that will help you bring value to what you're doing, you know, to help you bring value to get this content out to people and meet the fan at their comfort zone. Fan engagement is almost zero in Africa, if I would say that.
Yeah.
You know, so what?
Administrators, sorry, a lot of administrators have lost the ability to actually communicate to their fans anymore. There's a disconnect between the people running a lot of the federations and leagues and the ordinary fan. A complete disconnect. They expect to run through the clubs. The clubs only look after themselves. They don't worry about the bigger picture. It's up to the league administrators, the FA administrators to do that. There's a disconnect with engaging with the fans, and they need to do that. And just on the Nigerian thing, I mean, in Nigeria, the league and the FA certainly attracts quite a lot of sponsorship. It actually does. But none of that has gone into saying, okay, now what they expect. Ever since SuperSport pulled out, they want another broadcaster to come and say, well, pay me millions of dollars and you can broadcast my matches and do that. They won't take the initiative. I actually put a plan into place for the LMC about a year ago for them to say you need to take control of your own production. You need to take some of that money and you need to and talk to the government and put some funding in and build up your own production capabilities to cover these games, and then start selling these matches to broadcasters rather than expecting the broadcasters come and do the work from you and you just take the check. It takes a lot of hard work, but that way you'll build an audience, a TV audience, and if you get the stuff on TV, your sponsorship will triple, because television sponsorship means a lot.
Yes.
And if you get exposure on TV, sponsors will pay for that, and especially if it's sport, because people know there will be people who watch it. So, but they refuse to kind of engage with that and take some of that money and invest it back in. Everybody just wants to get their slice and go home, kind of thing.
Yeah, that and again, Themba, you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, sponsorship is it's the big elephant. There's a big elephant in the room when it comes to African sport. And I agree with everything that Gary says. It's just there's an expectation especially on rights holders, okay, that I have an asset, maybe the football is an event, I expect sponsors to come along, and through my travels, I talk to the African Federation, and they say, can you help us get sponsorship? And I say, okay, what are you offering the sponsor? Right? Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, it's about what value are you bringing to the sponsor. To a sponsor, by giving you the money, they are making an investment.
Hello?
So how do they get their return, basically?
Themba? I think, yeah. We lost you there, Themba.
You there?
Yeah.
Themba?
It must be probably getting a call or something. I don't know. We lost him there briefly.
I can understand where. There you go. You back?
No, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, let me just reiterate what I was saying, right?
Uh-huh.
When sponsors are paying you sponsorship money, they are making an investment. An investment, or usually the expectation, which is a return on investment. Okay, sometimes it's monetary expectations. Sometimes it's about their brand or whatever corporate social responsibilities they might have. Okay, so all those elements come into play when sponsors are making an assessment for an asset to partner with. They are looking at it as a partnership. And one of the things, one of the courses I did on sponsorship, that has always been in the back of my mind when I look at sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing called with them. With them is what's in it for us.
Right.
And that is what sponsors, when they look at a proposition or a proposal for sponsorship, they always look at it, what are we going to gain from this? And sometimes that understanding from African federations is not there. They don't look at how they link with the sponsor, how their assets, how their brand, how their product link with the brand, how they could, is there any synergies between the two? They then look at the languages, the linkages between the two. They then look at leverage. They then look at how do we have a platform where the sponsors can further activate their association or partnership with us. Okay? Mm-hmm. And once you go out and kind of prove this thing and demonstrate to the sponsor that you have a sufficient platform for them to derive significant value from this platform. Significant value by, if they're looking at the bottom line, if they're looking at brand enhancement or increasing their brand equity, if they're looking at attracting new customers, if they are looking at enhancing existing relationships with their customers, right? If they are looking at social corporate responsibilities, what kind of activities, what kind of programs will they partner with you to further their ambitions for their kind of corporate social responsibility goals. So it's not, the mindset needs to change. Mm-hmm. It needs to change a lot in terms of saying, hey, give us money, but hey, this is what we can do with the platform that we have. And if that mindset is there with the broadcasters, with the federations or the rights holders, where they actually say, let's invest in what we have so that it makes it easier for sponsors to come on board, because we would have a platform where they could get value.
Okay.
Easily.
All right.
I'll tell you what, so just jump in quickly as well. And this is why we need so many of those great African sports business minds that have gone out there into the world coming back.
Hello.
Federations and sponsors to link up and make that happen, basically.
Yes.
There's great people out there that need to come back and do that.
In fact, I was just going to say, this brings us right back to what Gary was saying about those young graduates, those MBAs and guys who have the capacity, because this is sophisticated knowledge that I am not saying that folks who are out there running some of those leagues, and not all of them completely unaware or totally in the dark about these things here, but there's a level of complexity when you describe how to acquire and retain a sponsor with a sports property, that it requires somebody to do an in-depth analysis study and how to retain and keep that sponsor on board for a good 4 or 5 years, you know, and going forward. Yeah. So it requires somebody with some key knowledge to be able to do that. So the point is, can they pay them, and can they allow these individuals to come in and help improve the state of whichever league it is, and then be able to retain them and help them, you know, push things to the next level. I see an example with Amaju Pinnick in Nigeria, the head of the NFF, who was able to bring in some big name sponsors for the Nigeria, for the Super Eagles, right before the World Cup. I mean, he started lining them up one after the other. You know, I mean, those are the individuals we're talking about here, right?
Yeah. Same time, I mean, look at what Cricket South Africa is doing, right? Mm-hmm. Cricket South Africa is one of the top performing African federations out there. They recorded record profits last year. So, I mean, we have these great case studies in Africa, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have the great case studies where, if we have great leaders, then we're going to have a great performing organization, right? So these things are there in Africa. All it needs to be is that there needs to be some platforms that are created, and I'm glad that I'm in this conversation with Gary, with men that I really respect his opinion, and we are going to be part of a kind of mini conference in Cape Town at the end. I mean, next month.
Okay.
I think you're going to moderate 2 sessions, right? If I've got it correct, and I'll be kind of chairing that mini conference. And it's those platforms where we are going to start this. Let me not say start, but we are going to add into this conversation, into this campaign, to create this new consciousness and to create this kind of ideas in terms of how do we actually develop this African sports economy.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, guys, gentlemen, you guys have been very generous with me today. It's running close to an hour here since we've been having this. This is a very big, a wide area of topic to cover. We're not even tipping the iceberg here in this case, because we're just talking about just sports sponsorship in this case. Just a small segment of it. We talked about the initial issue of why we're not realizing the value of sports as an economic activity overall in Africa, and we talked about the issue of culture. We'll try to wrap it up at this stage, but we'll have more opportunities in the future to come back and revisit the business of sports in Africa and how to build capacity for sports economy across Africa, because this is key. And the conferences that you guys will be attending, good luck with that. I wish I had known about that. I probably would have.
It's AFRICOM in November in Cape Town.
AFRICOM, okay, all right, okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, those things need to be happening more and more, because the leaders in sports, the sports administrators that we're talking about across different countries, be it Senegal, be it Mauritania, Egypt, etc., these countries all need to understand that you start from within. Your people can watch international sports all day long. They can watch La Liga, they can watch EPL, etc. But the reality is, you got to build capacity from within. You have to be able to produce local sports content and mix it well with international sports content. This is where you're able to have impact on your economy as a nation. Because if you don't, then obviously there'll be no value to what you're doing locally. I mean, you can take people to the Olympics and everybody can scream and holler about, somebody won a gold medal, but what's the value of that locally within your country?
Exactly. Very good point.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any final words to say on this, and then we can wrap it up.
I just want to say that thanks to Temba for those kind words about me, and just to tell him that feeling is absolutely mutual. Temba's somebody I share that respect for him as well, because he's also someone who's been out there and done a lot of the hard miles and make stuff happen in Africa. Understanding the business of sport, I've learned a lot from him as well. So the feeling is mutual. But it's great, Leslie. Very nice to have this opportunity to discuss these issues, and I look forward to because as you say, we're only just chipping away at the iceberg here.
Right.
It's a big issue that we'd love to talk a lot more about.
Definitely.
But thanks for having us.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're very welcome.
I have to reiterate those words too. As I think. Thank you, Leslie. This was a great conversation. It is of conversations that we need to have, but it is conversations that we need to have then to influence our actions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's a great start to just have this kind of conversation, and hopefully
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is going to be listening to this will learn a little bit, but at the same time will kind of think differently and act differently, and that is what for me is the most important. We have a lot of rhetoric,